hope you're right about this sunny California bit. Sick and tired of stopping work in the middle of every scene.
Oh, put your umbrella away, pal. I hear it's going to be nothing but sunshine and oranges. Yeah, and no more of those goons from the stuff trying to lock up our families. Hey, tell me again, what's the name of that guy that said we couldn't make movies and show them unless we paid him for the rights? Oh, brace yourself. Thomas Alva Edison.
No, that's the guy who made the phonograph.
And the kinetoscope.
You left sunny California. And Thomas Edison isn't going to come out here to break your family. And if he does, we can sneak across the Mexican border in no time. So you relax. And you put up your umbrella.
I'm so nervous. Hi, I'm going to Hollywood to become the biggest star in the whole world. My name is Gladys.
Hello, Gladys.
You can call me Peter.
Hello, Peter.
Hi.
Sweetheart, why don't you vamp right over here and sing?
Josie!
Well, what do you think? How about this?
Wait, what's that? Look at all the beautiful women. Whoa. I got an idea. I'm going to make a movie. I'm going to call it Max Simmons Stadium.
Don't get burned, yeah. Hey, this is stuff. Bringing right about these WDW. You know, what do you think of this for a title for a picture? The Strongman. Lots of sunshine. Lots of sunshine.
Everywhere you put a camera, you don't pick up a tall building.
Yeah.
I think I'll make a motion picture. I think I'll call it First of a Nation.
Hey, that's great, CW. You know, I...
Place like a train with a mustache.
But there was still a lot of that excitement and wonder around when I did get here. And I'm sure that it pulls the young hopefuls even today, all of these years later. Hollywood has always been as much a state of mind, an idea, calculated work. And we'll be 100th birthday of the real estate, and then we'll celebrate worldwide appreciation of the idea. I remember the Maltese Falcon. John Huston directed the motion picture version of Dashiell Hammett. Now, Humphrey Bogart, of course, he played Texas Sam Fay.
Harry, what is it? The stuff that dreams are made of. Huh?
The stuff that dreams are made of. I don't know. What better way to sum up the town that we're here to celebrate tonight? Hollywood. The stuff that dreams are made of.
Happy birthday, Hollywood. Brought to you by the Prudential, offering a full range of insurance and other financial services. With the right choices, with the right guidance, you can move mountains. The Prudential, your rock in financial services. And Kmart, the saving place. For great names and great prices, we're America's favorite store.
From the waves of the Pacific to the heartland USA, from the old South to New England and towns along the way, from the Great Lakes to the bayou and the mountains to the sun, here is the land you've made us, America's favorite store. You've made us America's favorite store.
Kmart, the saving place.
Dr. Pepper, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you. Lord, it takes me to the you. I got a bad case of loving you.
Dr. Pepper, just what the doctor ordered. If you can dream it, you can do it. Today, the Prudential can show you a new world of financial opportunity. Look to the right. When you feel funds, stocks and bonds, real estate, insurance and mortgages, with the right choices, the right guidance, the sky's the limit. The Prudential, your rock in financial services.
When the love comes right through, that's the
very happy that you laughed at that. You know, you never can tell about a sense of humor. It's a strange thing. Because not everyone is cracked up at the same time over the same joke or sight gag or whatever. It has to do with your age, I guess, or whether you're male or female, and maybe whether you're watching sometimes in a group or in a theater at home by yourself. But there can be few places on earth where this Cain and this Derby don't conjure up a chuckle. Almost since the beginning of movies here in Hollywood, Charlie Chaplin was the comedian against whom all other would-be funny people had to be judged. His little tramp was a folk hero, and his life reigned its truest glory, and he rallied on his slyness and disdain, animal cunning, and a kind of savvy elegance which audiences everywhere recognized and rewarded with laughter. He did it without words. His was one kind of comedy. Today, on the surface, it's vastly different. But maybe not. What makes people laugh? Well, these movies do. Take a look at these things and see if you don't feel better by the end. I said, tell her. Tell her what? Tell her nothing. Wait a minute, this is legal. There's no seal on it. Where's the seal? 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 Oh, no? No. Listen, baby, if I got out of that door in 2 seconds flat, my name's not Larry Hayes. Meet John Doe. The toughest fight I had was with Gene Fieldy. That was a toughest fight. You fighter, you are a fighter.
See here, young man. That is, if I'm not mistaken, you like children? I do if they're properly cooked.
Not a word.
Hold it! Hold it right there! Where are you going with that elephant?
What elephant?
Did you put the pellet with the poison in the vessel of the pet?
No. With the poisons in the dragon with the dragon. The vessel with the pestle has the bruise.
The poison's in the dragon with the dragon, the vessel with the pestle has bruised up.
Remember that. The pellet with the poison is the chalice with the kidney.
Is it good, the dog? Oh. Oh, good. I think you still got good. Don't look down.
Don't look down. Look up. Just keep your eyes up and keep that way, okay?
There are snails on her feet.
Just look away. Keep your eyes up. You would think that a fancy restaurant like this at these prices, you would be able to keep the snails off. There's so many snails in it, you can't even see the food. I take them all and those melted cheese sandwich appetizers you talked me out of.
Living suicide.
Oh, that's Friday night. Don't you have any respect for yourself?
That bar is a PRC pig.
You didn't guess, but I am now. I mean, this. Get it? Oh, dear.
And look at the army couldn't afford race, I mean, I'd be up with the cross of town here. A real woman could stop you from thinking.
Yeah, you're a real big woman.
Will you take my hand?
That was going to do this one. Really, that's serious.
like a banana in the tailpipe? It should be more nasty, though. It should slow out. Just, look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
My husband got business with the mafia. When they catch you down, you will have family, everyone you ever knew. Lost your chainsaw and a mouse. And that's not all. Oh. I did a sacrifice. What are you doing?
Oh, boy, for a million and 50 generations to see. And we were here.
Did you know that that song was from the 1938 film Hollywood Hotel? Now, I know you don't remember the movie.
Remember the movie? I was at the sneak preview.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I remember the song.
Yeah, but did you know that the writer of that song has written more hit movie musicals? He's been nominated, for instance, for an Oscar 16 times, and he's won 4 of them.
Well, tonight, we're going to remind all of you why Johnny Mercer was so special.
Yeah, I can dig it. Listen. You got to act to wait for positive. Lots on to the affirmative. Don't mess with it, baby. Bring gloom down to the men of honor. The pandemonium liable to walk upon the scene. No, don't mess with the thing. You must have been a beautiful baby. You must have been a wonderful child. When you were only starting to go to kindergarten, I guess you drove a little boy's wild. In the cool of evening, tell them I'll be there. In the cool of evening, better save a day. So you met someone who stepped back on your heels. Yes, you met someone and now you know how it feels. And you gave them your heart too, just as I gave mine to you. And you comforted little pieces. Now how do you feel? I should stay away, but what can I do? I hear your name and I'm afraid. Get out that fire.
with you always. I'm with you.
I might have been back. That night, in the celebration on the New York City on location filming in that night, big city. However, I wanted to join in with everybody else. I would have happy 100th birthday, 100 times.
Please look out for Burt Reynolds and Carol Burnett as Happy Birthday Hollywood continues. When you come home from Kmart, you can feel good about what you bought. Because along with the best brand names and the low Kmart price, you have the assurance that if anything you buy at Kmart isn't right, you are upset and makes you happy.
This thing didn't cost me. Well, let's find one that does.
Kmart, satisfaction always. The saving place.
Before the taxes. After all, I had nothing to do with it. I owe that to my mother and father. But how I take care of my look is up to me. And for my hair, only performing preference will do. It's just one of the layers of light, because the color is translucent. And my hair is always healthy looking and fit. Do I deserve this wisdom? Only if I think I'm worth it.
Performing preference of L'Oreal. Sally Gibson blushes when he reads his mail. He's unique, funny, warm, witty. A winner. Say good morning to a winning team. Sally Gibson and Joan London. Weekdays on Good Morning America.
Good evening. I'm Burt Reynolds. That tiny face belonged to a gentleman named Enos Yakima-Canuck. He's still referred to as the Dean of Stuntmen. I started out in the show business as a stuntman, and when I got so old I couldn't fall down, I became an actor. In the very early days of film, there were no professional stuntmen. Harold Lloyd really hung from the clock. Lester Keaton really had a building foreman, and various sundry two-cent cops bumped down those roads and careened around those corners and crashed into cars and took long drives off short fields. Gradually, they developed a corps of brave and skilled people who walked the tightrope between what is required and a fine margin of safety. And so, the professional stunt person was born. John Wayne said, stunts and making pictures from Yakima Canuck as I have from any man I've ever known. It's been out there. I know because I've seen photographs of it. It's the only Oscar ever given to a stuntman, Yakima Canuck. And he ever deserved it. Then they all did.
One of Yakima's most daring stunts appeared in Stagecoach in 1939. As an Indian, he jumped onto the lead horse of the coach team. Then he'll drop between the horses, drag a moment, and let go. At 50 miles an hour, 6 horses and a heavy coach will pass over him with only inches to spare. No one has ever duplicated this stunt. The highlight of Yakima's remarkable career happened 20 years later when he staged the classic chariot race in Ben Hill. Mickey Gilbert, Joe Ligorian, and Yak's son, Joe, were the principal drivers. Miraculously, no one was seriously injured. For over 50 years, Dutchman Terry Lawson has driven cars to their limits and beyond. There were spectacular stunts and bullets which Lawson designed and directed. Steve McQueen, Bill Hickman, and Billy Eaton did the driving. In Smokey and the Bandit, my friend and ex-stuntman Hal Needham directed the film, and Alan Gibbs was the stunt coordinator. The people behind the wheel were Janet Brady, Tommy Huff, Jim Connors, and Bobby Bass. You're about to see a movie first, a simultaneous two-car rollover. The film is the picture. Eddie Donald staged the stunt. Henry and Russell, Eddie Height, Janet Brady, Billy Burton was the driver. Their stunts require enormous expertise, and two of Hollywood's finest talents, Paul Knight and Frank Fallman, teamed up for these classes in this mad, 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 mad world. Here's an individual effort that Yakima would have been proud of. Terry Leonard doubled for Harrison Ford in Raiders of the Lost Ark. A fire stunt is one of the most hazardous special effects jobs in the business. Here Dick Zeicher doubles for Yul Brynner in Westworld. Dick is counting the seconds now, shielding himself to protect his suit and mask. He's still like a piece of meat wrapped in tinfoil. The accumulating heat will eventually bake him unless his every move is carefully timed. Off camera, a small army of technicians waits to douse the flames from the front unit. The high fall is one of the most hair-raising stunts I know of. And it was my friend Star Robinson special.
Oh, Booker, do you really want to jump? Do you want it? Oh, that's fine.
In Lethal Weapon, there was Mel Gibson on the roof. But in the air, it was Dar Robinson and Mick Rogers in the sensational fall. In Romancing the Stone, Terry Leonard and Vince Dedrick Jr. stunted for Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner.
Okay, make some time.
Someone could get hurt, even on a stunt that looks like great fun. But that's the art of the professional stunt. Make it look real. Make it look exciting. And try to make it as safe as possible.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present some of the stunt people who make films so exciting.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Burnett, and this is Sunset Boulevard, corner of Argyle. Sunset runs from east to west for 25 miles and is quite a few years older than Hollywood. And this is the old Hollywood Hotel, circa 1904. This is what the backlot at 20th Century Fox used to look like, where they made the Shirley Temple movies and later shot Mask and Batman. And this is the street where Hello Dolly was famous. I grew up around movie studios, and I used to play all over the fields and peer through the fences with the movie makers. Well, it all started to change about 27 years ago, and now I'm standing on what was the back lot and what is now Century City. The studios at 20th is still over there, but here we have the Century Plaza Hotel and Tower, gardens and fountains, a huge entertainment complex with capital cities, ABC corporate offices, and the Stewart Theater. Hollywood itself has changed a lot in the last 100 years, sometimes for the good and sometimes not. The films and television continue to change, sometimes for the good and sometimes not. And it's something of an awesome responsibility. Our worldwide audience now numbers in the billions. Not bad for 100 years. Happy birthday, Hollywood.
Next, Happy Birthday Hollywood salute, Busby Berkeley.
Listen how life insurance policy can make anyone feel helpless. You're at the mercy of strangers. Your hands are tied. You feel pressure. But help is never too far away. With Prudential, your agent has the time to talk to you, listen to you, and work with you until you have a piece of the rock you're comfortable with. No wonder more people choose Prudential for life insurance than any other company. You'll feel right by the rock. Prudential Life Insurance.
Ours, as you know, is not a perfect world. May I? That's why I throw your question on something really perfect. Like Diet Coke. Tastes great straight or on the rock. Yet it's just 1 calorie. That's why Diet Coke is the perfect soft drink. An imperfect world.
You can earn money just for looking like a million. Just use the credit card that pays you back. The one that gives you a yearly cashback bonus on every purchase. What other card rewards your good faith like this? You get more places every day, like Woolworth, Golden Book, and Radio Shack.
Happy Birthday Hollywood will continue in a moment.
Why, we're so vulnerable in the Mideast. Tomorrow, watch ABC's World News Tonight. And ABC News Business Beat, now from New York, and Port. Good evening. The National Association of Business Economists predicts higher inflation this year because of the weak dollar. Higher tariffs have cut U.S. sales of Japanese computers and power tools by 25%. But they haven't hurt sales of Japanese brand TV sets, most of which are made here. American factories operated at just 80% of capacity last month, the lowest rate in 3 years. The new federal income tax forms are out, and the IRS admits they're as complicated as the new tax law. On New York financial markets, the Dow lost 14 points, interest on T-bills fell a bit, gold was down $3, and the dollar was stronger. That's Business Brief. I'm Dan Court.
In Miami, the city of sun and sand, the word around town is German.
#1 imported German beer in Miami. It's American Summer Super Saver.
So long, I'll see you later. Gonna take off, don't you know? There's no stopping now, 'cause here it comes. And there I go.
American Summer Super Savers from $39 to $199. Each way to cities throughout the continental U.S. So now's the time to take off with American Summer Super Savers.
We're American Airlines, and the clock
Comfort Silver. We're here on new Amaco Silver. It's high time folks had something better than regular unleaded. There go your guess. Old friend, my Carno.
For better performance than regular unleaded, try pure Amaco Silver.
Grandpa, who was that last man?
I don't know, son. It is Carno. Tonight, with the blood-shed preventable eyewitness news investigates why the Iraqi missile got past the ship's defense system. And Joel Singer reviews personal services at 11 here on Channel 7. On the ground. Lay your head on those shoulders of yours and go out and try you. You're going out a young. You'll got to come back and stop.
Good evening. I'm Debbie Reynolds, and I was raised on those early Hollywood movie musicals. I would go through the pictures twice through, and then I'd come home and dance all over the house. The plot, if that's the word I'm after, was rather lighthearted. But the music, a fantastic song, enough for the beautiful baby, the lady in red, too marvelous for words, the actresses, good old Ruby Spears, Eleanor Powell, Ginger Rogers, Joan Blondell, and a choreographer whose vision went further than just dance steps. Busby Berkeley. He showed the world what could be done with a movie camera. As Gene Kelly once said, if anybody wants to learn what can be done with a camera, they should study every shot Busby Berkeley ever made. And he did it all. In the space of about 5 years, he did every shot in the book. But even Busby couldn't have done it without the dance. Those long-legged, long-suffering, hundreds of girls like Ruby Spears. She's a hip hop you. Happy birthday, Hollywood.
Berkeley is the name. Busby Berkeley. Oh, I've got such pictures in my head. I know just what I want to see up on that screen. Pinwheel. Kaleidoscope. When I tear down the pipe, I'm going to take it away from the stage, and you're going to have dancing didn't say 20 girls. I didn't say 30 girls. I didn't say 50 girls. I said 100 girls. Now give me 100 girls.
I'm Ted Danson. I'm Steve Weaver. And I'm Tom Selleck, and we're all here on the set of Three Men and a Baby to say...
Clint Eastwood remembers John Wayne next on Happy Birthday Hollywood.
On any given day across America, more people will go to one store than any other. For clock radios, coffee makers, cheese, towels and toothbrushes, just about everything. All around the country, this one store has such a name for good products at good prices that every month, almost half of America shows up to shop. If you're not one of them, maybe it's time you found out how the other half saves. Kmart, the saving place.
Newton, a bunch of real fruit cookies with a bunch of fruits to choose from. But sorry.
It started over 2 decades ago. The finest varietal grapes were planted. The world's most costly vineyard. The harvest began in the Napa Sonoma growing region. The greatest winemaking facilities in the world. Cork in Portugal. Oakland. Gallows first vintage dated wine. A crown. In just 20 short years, the maker of America's most popular wine has become America's most honored wine. Today's guest. All the best a wine can do.
The first annual American Comedy Award.
Grab the TV and feel the power of comedy. You know what I mean.
The people who make us laugh finally get what they deserve. Special appearances by George Carlin, Whoopi Goldberg, Pee Wee Herman, Walter Matthau, Lily Tomlin, and more.
Look at my toy.
The American Comedy Awards. Why? Tomorrow.
Oh, steady, ho, ho. Hey, look, the Pringles.
Yeah. Hiya, Buck. Oh, it looks like you got another passenger. Hello, kid. Take the Winchester. They need me in this Winchester, Curly. Good evening. I'm Clint Eastwood. And here's... This is the Winchester. John Wayne used the stagecoach he considered it a good luck suit. He could carry it in nearly every Western he made from that time on. Wayne's box office appeal was and still is unmatched in movie history. 25 years in top 10. He started as extra in 1928 versus the Wrangler, stuntman, Spotman. Played his first leading role in 1930 in a picture called The Big Sale. And he had changed his name from Marion Morrison to John Wayne. His friends would always call him Duke. He did not yet have good luck. The Winchester was born. The Big Sale was a disaster. He was condemned to be Western for the next decade. Then he got the part that changed it all around. And that picture was Jason. That was John Ford. Billy Cooper came to roll down, so Ford offered it to John Wayne, and he took it and never looked back. That's something he communicated to an audience that made them believe him, whatever the movie was. Some of them weren't all that great, but he invested a part of himself that the audience trusted. Making his sense and honesty, as well as integrity. He said about himself as an actor, I really don't act, I react. The only way I can describe it is for someone else is to say, just get natural. That's an important thing in movies, regardless of character. I always played John Wayne, he said. I'm Wayne the Cowboy. That is the role I'm in high dress. I'm not an actor, and I don't pretend to be one, he said. All I can do is sell some stories, and I've been selling it ever since I started. Well, he sure did.
Wilkins is skilled, and that's going to be paid for if I have to tear you and the whole town apart. Beginning with your pet rattle.
How'd you ever kill so many men?
Lived most of my life in wild country. Said it's going to laws to live by. What laws? I won't be wronged. I won't be insulted. I won't be laid a hand on. I don't do these things to other people. I require the same from them.
That's the way you make it. That's good, sir. Get him out of the way.
Walk around it.
I'll be hanged if I go out of my way from his cook dog.
Man ought to do what he thinks is best. Quit blocking the door. You should have let him kill me, because I'm going to kill you. I'll catch up with you. I don't know when, but I'll catch up. Every time you turn around, expect to see me. One time you'll turn around and I'll be there. I'll kill you, man.
I mean to kill you in 1 minute, Ned. Or see you hanged in Fort Smith at Judge Fighter's convenience. Which will it be? I call it full talk for a one-eyed fat man. Fill your hand, you son of a bitch.
John Wayne's Oscar-winning performance in True Grit had been a long time coming. In the early 30s, after the big sale, when no major studio would touch him, Wayne labored through an endless string of low-budget, 3.5-day westerns. He even took a job as the movie's first singing cowboy.
Blood a-running, town before night. Big guns are blazing.
That's Jim Sims.
You'll be drinking.
Duke was married now with 3 children to feed, and a terrible feeling that he would be trapped forever in quirky Western. Each one, said Wayne, was lousier than the last, but he hung in there. Stagecoach started my career, said Duke, and his dozen years of professional experience would help him keep the momentum going. John Wayne would become not only a popular action star, but also a romantic leading man. Many consider this moment from Hondo with Geraldine Page to be one of his best-played romantic scenes.
You're baked today. Small place bread on you. Sometime today you cook the salt pork. Smell that on you, too. You smell all over like soap. Took a bath, and on top of that, you smell all over like a woman. I could find you in the darkness, you know, and I'm only partying.
Wayne, the man of action, is what audiences look forward to in films like The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance with Lee Marvin and James Stewart.
That's my steak, Valance. I said you, Valance. You pick it up.
I'll get it, Liberty.
I said you, Liberty. You pick it up. Why don't you get yourself a fresh steak on me? Show's over for now. Try it, Liberty. Just try it. Watch your drinking, ma'am. If you ever have need of a one-eyed old peace officer.
In Easter Cogburn, Katharine Hepburn gives us a perfect summation of the Wayne legend.
I have to say it. I look at you with your burned-out face and your big belly and your bear-like paws and your shining eyes. And I have to say, you're a credit to the whole male sex, and I'm proud to have you for my friend.
I'll be damned if she didn't get the last word in again. Well...
The 23-year-old actor in The Big Sale would go on to star in over 150 films, in an extraordinary career that would span 50 years. He would play other roles in other kinds of films, but it's the image of John Wayne, the man of the West, that will always come to mind. Honest, loyal, self-reliant, the embodiment of the American hero. Years ago, John Wayne picked his own epitaph. It's the saying they have in Mexico, he said, feo, fuerte y formal. It means he was ugly, was strong, and he had dignity.
You're trying to hold in your homeowner's insurance before they find you. Sorry to barge in. Have a Prudential representative give you a fast, free crew review of your coverage. Are we covered? If you had a crew review, you'd know. Get a crew review from the Prudential and get a piece of the rock.
Don't look like Bermuda to me.
Jim Edwards, Aquafresh user. No cavities, but facing gum issues and bad breath. Recommendations: 1 complete toothpaste that fights cavities, freshens breath, and helps remove plaque. Aquafresh. More than cavity protection, triple protection.
Why take a plain bath when you can take a bath in Calgon have aloe vera, lanolin, or rosewater and glycerin. Soften your skin with Calgon moisturizing foam baths.
I love it at dawn. The whole world seems fresh and brand new.
As light and clear now as the juice of a fresh-cut pineapple. That's today's Dole 100% pure pineapple juice. Pineapple orange and pineapple grapefruit, too. All with a brand new taste of morning.
Now, Christmas mornings like these remind me of when I was a little boy.
Yeah, me too. Here's a copy, Mr. Kelly.
Thank you. You ever dance?
Greek?
I'll bet you took some lessons.
That's the legend when I was a kid. I've loved them. Hey, these feet I know they're working.
You make it look like dancing in the air.
Listen like you refuse to enter.
Whatever you say.
And what if I talk into
Happy Birthday Hollywood will continue in a moment.
Wednesday. Spend an evening with Diana Ross as she takes you on a musical journey with special guests. Little Richard, Bernadette Peters, Billy T. Williams, and Etta James. Diana Ross, Red Hot Rhythm and Blues.
Wednesday.
We are gathered here to...
You'd expect this Panasonic Omni-Movie camcorder to shoot in daylight.
If anyone believes this couple should not be married, let him speak now.
You might expect this Panasonic camcorder to shoot in moonlight.
Let him speak now.
But what you don't expect is that it can shoot by the light of one candle. And it's VHS.
Let him speak now.
Camcorders that do the unexpected make Panasonic just slightly ahead of our time.
First announces great low weekly rates, like $89 a week here in Arizona. Or only $79 a week here in Hawaii. Oh, yeah, Arnie? Well, what about $99 a week here in sunny California? Or, okay, only $49 a week here in sunny Florida.
Hey, you don't just rent a car. You rent a company.
What if an ancient lamp said Bon Mott instead of stop? Or the glaciers had melted on Tuesday instead of Thursday? Suppose Jupiter had never aligned with Mars. Then there never had been a place called Verrier. Or a spring called Perrier. But luckily, everything happened just right. It's perfect. It's Perrier.
What happened to the ship's defense system? The story at 11.
Singing in the Rain, Cover Girl, Meet Me in St. Louis, Anchors Away, Funny Face, the movie musical. Now, you notice I didn't have to say the American movie musical, because it's hard to think of any other. It seems to be one of the few peculiarly American art forms produced in Hollywood. Now, I have a special warm spot in my heart for the 10-year period from 1945 to 1955. There were so many great musicals, each unique and yet similar in that they had an energy, an attitude, and wonderful performing artists who lit up the sky. Oh, this is Gene Kelly's Umbrella. And it is with love and appreciation and much affection that we present our tribute to the movie musicals of the 40s and the 50s.
If that song can stop you laughing, I'm happy. Happy. Every time I hear that song, there's only one gal I can hear doing it. Mary May Harold. You remember her? Sure you do. Some performer, some kid, some heart. I always had a lot of faith in her from the very beginning. The faith is funny, you know. It never really worked out the way you hope it would. I remember the whole story like it was yesterday. Mary May was born to sing.
Let me sing a shining star
like that girl. Find her quick. Well, Mary May was fine, all right. And she started working American Pictures the next day, but not exactly in the capacity she dreamed about.
Mannequin. It's not really George Lloyd. It is George Lloyd.
I've been noticing you. Yes, you. That smile. Isn't it romantic? Music in the night, a dream that can be heard. Isn't it romantic? Moving shadows strike the old magic world. You know the song.
George Lloyd and Mary May Harrell. They became inseparable. The two, the only. George demanded that L.B. Mandela put her in his next big musical, Mississippi Paradise. So the ball began to roll. Movie after movie, song after song, hit after hit. except L.B. Mandela. He hates when he kisses her. Finally, he couldn't take it anymore, and he appeared on the set right after a day of shooting. Oh, it was horrible. First, he tells her how much he loves her. I love you. I love you. And she tells him that she loves him, too. And she realizes what he means. And she says she'll always be grateful to him, but she still loves George. I love George. I love George. Well, this was not what L.B. wanted to hear. And then he said, I can't take it anymore. And he tried to make a pass. She rebuked him. You're an animal, she said. Well, he couldn't control himself, and he slapped her. Then he said he'd finish her in this town, and Mary May was determined to make it without L.B. But L.B. had put the wheels of her destruction into motion, using the most powerful weapon known to Hollywood, gossip. Well, it was effective. Writers wouldn't write for her. Composers wouldn't compose for her. And agents wouldn't agent for her. Even George Lord was confused. Then I got this great idea. Of all my years of handling her and managing her, I'd saved quite a bundle. So I thought, why not open our own club? And I had the perfect name for it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Key Change is proud to present the first time on any supper club stage, Mary May Harold.
Let me sing a funny song. The crazy words that roll along. And if my song can start you laughing, I'm happy. Let me sing a broken heart that loved in vain. And if my song can start you crying, I'm happy. Let me tune a low down you, lift you out of your sleep. And if my song can be your tune, start you stamping your feet,
It was you. It was always you. You know that.
with his legs.
Next, a salute to the world of special effects with Charlton Heston.
In all my experience, the most unexpected discovery was Dewey Stevens' theory of relativity. Dewey proved all science can be reduced to this. 1/3, 2/3. Neptune is 1/3 the size of Saturn, which is 2/3 the size of Jupiter. Dewey knew what works in the cosmos works in the coolest.
The unexpected taste of Dewey Stevens. 1/3 less calories, 2/3 more fun.
Even my nose is 1/3 the distance from my chin and 2/3 from the top of my head.
Watch closely. One of these sunbathers is a Fuji picture. Can you spot which one? Fuji Super HR film has ultra-thin color layers, with truer color than we've ever had before. For pictures so alive, they almost freeze. Get Fuji Super HR film. Grab the Super HR and the first ready-to-use 35mm camera. Fuji Quick Smart.
Honey, I'll only be a minute. I just need to pick up this one thing.
Kmart, where more people shop.
Sit down, man.
And shop. And shop. Than anywhere else.
So what happened to the one thing? It's in there.
Kmart, the saving place.
She testified against the killing. Now, is that to her?
Kill me.
In self-defense, Friday.
Ladies and gentlemen, I brought you something a little special, a little different. It has special power. Let me show you. Isn't that neat? Not that hard, actually. Look, one hand. Over the years at the movies, we have got to the point where we sort of take for granted some pretty special effects. Behold his mighty hand. You know, that film clip seems to imply that special effects go back 4,000 or 5,000 years. That's not true, of course. Unless you consider the original of this cast, with the original cast. But the special effects do go back a lot farther than you think. More than 100 years. See, when a French magician named Georges Méliès became fascinated with motion pictures as soon as they appeared in Paris. By 1876, he was making his first film. He was doing a shot of a carriage going by when his camera jammed. By the time he'd gotten it cleared, the carriage had disappeared and a hearse was passing. So, of course, when he developed the film, why, the carriage magically became a hearse and special effects were born. Now, of course, that effect really wasn't all that special when you compare it to the work of the skilled craftsmen working in the magnetic rod to support the building, which collapsed when the current was cut off. What?
tuned for Katharine Hepburn and some of Hollywood's loveliest ladies.
Soar beyond your expectations. Today, the Prudential can show you a new world of financial opportunity. Look to the rock for stocks and bonds, mutual funds, Stewart Place and CDs, insurance. With the right choices, the right guidance, you can move mountains. The Prudential. Your rock in financial services.
You think it's easy being a carpet?
Don Rickles has new Ansel 5 worry-free carpet.
Nice, Doggy. Can you believe this? Oh, here comes the kid. Cute. I knew it had to be chocolate. What's the matter, lady? Another bad year for Bordeaux? Don't worry. With a little cleaning, that feels good. I'll still be gorgeous.
Revolutionary Ansel 5 worry-free. The carpet that can really take it.
Okay, you hockey puck. I'm ready for anything.
Introducing the lively taste of new Lipton Cool Side Salad. For 12 nights, you'll enjoy the tempting, fresh pasta salad. Seasoned by Lipton. With great taste. New Lipton Cool Side Salad. Alive with taste.
Happy Birthday Hollywood will continue in a moment. An ABC News Brief brought to you by Palmolive Automatic. Now from Washington and Dublin.
Good evening. Iraq's President Hussein has formally apologized for yesterday's attack on the USS Shark in the Persian Gulf. 28 American sailors were killed after an Iraqi missile blew a hole in the ship's hull and started a fire aboard. Several crew members are hospitalized in nearby Bahrain. And President Reagan has ordered a higher state of alert for U.S. ships in the Persian Gulf. The Pentagon cannot explain why the Shark failed to defend itself. Now that
Fed up with dishwasher powder all over your dishes? Break away from powders with Liquid Palm Olive Automatic. For a clean that's worth celebrating. Try Liquid Palm Olive Automatic. Now in new lemon, too.
later tonight on Viewpoint, pistols, keyholes, and fair game. How much of a candidate's private life should be under press scrutiny?
It's new and everything's included from airfare to gourmet dining at Club Paradise Vacation from Resorts International. You may not want to do it all, but it's nice to know it's there. 3 or 4 nights on Paradise Island from $679. See your travel agent to call 1-800-321-3000. While every brewer knows that nothing protects the flavor of pure, natural beer like darkness, very few do anything about it. This is one of the few. We protect Rolling Rock in light, tight six-pack because we brew Rolling Rock with all natural ingredients. Mountain-free water, no additives, no preservatives. Rolling Rock premium beer, so pure and natural, before you open the bottle, you have to open the box. What happened to the ship's defense system? The story of 11.
Good evening, I'm Ally City. Back in the earliest days of film, 1910, 1911, there were the Gift sisters, Lillian and Dorothy, Blanche, Sweet, Mary Pickford, Mae Mullis. They were the first heroines of the silver screen. And there have been countless actresses since then who played the daughter or sister or mother or wife or friend or lover. There have been a lot of us over the years. Irate fathers threw us out into the snow. We got tied to railroad tracks and rescued just in the nick of time. We made it through the advent of sound only to turn into gangsters' mobs and get grapefruits in the face. We were born on the farm, we worked in the big cities, we had an innate elegance or pioneer spirit. Some of us were no better than we should be, but we persevered. We mirrored the changes that befell our real-life counterparts, and in many cases we accelerated the pace of those changes. We come in all sizes, shapes, and ages, and I suspect you can't do this party without us. I'm delighted to have joined the sorority, and we salute the heroines of the silver screen. Who the hell went to us all? Miss Katharine Hepburn.
Hello. Good evening. I am Katharine Hepburn. I hope that is still self-evident. And anyway, you couldn't tell by the voice. I was sick, and I'm here. And I'm very pleased to welcome all of you to my home. My first home, actually, because each of us who works in this industry, in this wonderful industry, has a second home. And that second home is the motion picture and television, country house and hospital. Now, the country house and hospital is not just for old people. Every member of our industry, of whatever age, regardless of whether the work is in front of the camera or behind the camera, can benefit from this one service. This evening is dedicated to enlarging the number of people that the fund can help. Now, this year, over 20,000 have been helped. Now, we need the support of the artists we're entertaining you now tonight. And the audience sitting in Hollywood will watching them do it. We are trying to ensure the future of this really important and really great work.
We hear you, Miss Hepburn. The fund has already raised over half its $50 million capital campaign goal to double the capacity of the country house and hospital. This will ensure that we continue to meet our promise.
Aren't you forgetting the ruby slippers?
Yeah.
The ruby slippers. What have you done with them? Give them back to me, or I'll... It's too late. There they are, and there they're still.
Dorothy's ruby slippers. Well, we all remember them, although very few took to wearing copies. There have been fads like hula hoops and swallowing goldfish and cramming 22 freshmen into one telephone booth. But they pale in comparison with fashion fads, especially those which originated in the movies. For example, look what happened when Clark Gable took his shirt off, and it happened one night, and the country discovered he had no undershirt. By the millions, men stopped wearing undershirts, and it wasn't until nearly 30 years later when Paul Newman took off his shirt in HUD and was discovered to be wearing, guess what? That undershirt makers could breathe easily again. A suit was created for Joan Crawford, which had extremely wide padded shoulders, and women around the world had to go through doors sideways. Films have always had that kind of instant power to persuade. Although the trends were not earth-shaking in the greater scheme of things, it's fun to remember what turned our fashion heads during the last 60 years. In the early days, performers almost always had to provide their own contemporary wardrobe. The bigger your closet, the better your chances for a job. Gloria Swanson's closet was the snazziest in town. Women rushed to the films to learn the latest in fashion from the undisputed clothes horse of the screen. Many were outraged when stars like Mae Bush dared to wear a scandalous new one-piece bathing suit. But despite the uproar, the one piece was here to stay. The It Girl, Clara Bow. Colorful headbands were her trademark, and soon no self-respecting flapper would be without one. Joan Crawford first wore padded shoulders in Today We Live, and Gary Cooper didn't seem to mind that her shoulders were wider than his. The hat Greta Garbo wore in Romance hastened the end of the cloak. The low over one eye placement would dominate hat styles throughout the 30s. Shirley Temple's polka dot dresses became the fastest selling outfit in the history of juvenile fashion. Dorothy Lamour proved that the road to chic was a flowered sarong. While women didn't rush out to buy tails so they could look like Marlene Dietrich, this outfit said that it was okay now for women to wear slacks. In The Outlaw, Jane Russell displayed the peasant look. Long skirts, low-cut bodices, a 40-year-old style that is still quite popular. Lana Turner showed why the postman always rings twice. Her turbans and bare midriff caused a fashion sensation. Father Spencer Tracy bought the wedding dress Elizabeth Taylor wore in Father of the Bride. He paid for the fashion that every bride for the next 10 years had to have. Rita Hayworth's gown in Gilda, a strapless black satin sheath with matching gloves, was the fashion rage of the 40s. Marilyn Monroe's dress in the 70s, still copied today, was originally bought off the rack. In the 60s, Faye Dunaway gave us the Bonnie and Clyde look. Their age was up, even if cigars weren't. Diane Keaton's Annie Hall appeared as if the contents of her boyfriend's closet had fallen on her, and the 70s layered look was in. Jennifer Beals' flash dance look popularized torn t-shirts, and the world of fashion wondered, what next? Here it is, trashy chic, as personified by Madonna in Desperately Seeking Susan. Just remember, this too shall pass.
Bob Hope presents Hookers of the Silver Screen, and Hollywood pays tribute to horror films. Next.
You touch a button and reach out across time and space. A miracle. To all of you who trusted us when we asked you to make the right choice, AT&T makes a promise. The miracle we created to serve you continues. In the months to come, we'd like to take you behind the button, into the most intelligent long-distance network on Earth, to show you how our scientists compress the intelligence of this into this, to change the speed and ease with which the world communicates forever, to see how we improve sound quality by turning it into millions of digital signals, or create lightning in a laboratory to test our equipment, the equipment you depend on before nature does. Because AT&T believes that behind the wonder of every technology, you must hear the human heart.
I'm fine, Mom. Yeah, the storm's over.
We're reaching further to bring your world closer. AT&T, the right choice.
All single singers seek a different genre. To make unusual music together, I'm turned on by the offbeat. Must be very, very cool. Able to keep my music in tune and my body in tune.
Kmart knows that saving, say, 10 cents on a sink stopper isn't going to change your life. But add that 10 cents to the $15 you might save on a Garcia casting reel, to the $40 you might save on a Stanley garage door opener, to the $80 you might save on a Smith Corona typewriter, to the time you save by coming here first. And then you know why more people shop at Kmart than any other store. Kmart, the saving place.
I want more of those kids, James. I want Ellie, and then I want more.
They gave a home to over 60 unwanted children until the courts tried to take them away.
Those kids are our lives. They're our hearts and our souls.
Stephanie Zimmerlin, James Reed, Celebration Family.
Someday.
Run, Liza, run!
Run? You think I'm yellow? Shake hands with the lemon. Let's go.
Wait a minute. There must be some sensible solution to this problem.
Well, of course, there's two fellas, one girl. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you come to my house.
Yeah, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, my house.
What about Sunday?
Everybody rest. It is not for me to forgive you, but this little flower, you are wrong. She is innocent. I didn't realize. Of course you didn't realize.
You didn't realize because you don't know women. But if there's one thing Bob Hope knows, it's women. Goodbye, and remember, that little wife of yours is as honest as the day is long. Short day, wasn't it?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening. Those were the good old days. We laughed when we read the script. We laughed while we were making the movies. And thank goodness you laughed when you saw them. I made a lot of movies, you know, and I really wouldn't change any of them. Being a comedian has been a wonderful way to meet people, to give pleasure. But I'll tell you a secret. Every now and then, when the moon is full and the wind starts to whistle, well, I can feel my toes tapping, and I wonder if instead of being a comedian, how far I would have gone as a dancer. I really enjoyed the road pictures dancing with Bing, and we had a great time all over the world with our hookers. And I love making that picture called The Seven Little Boys with Jimmy Cagney. We did a pretty neat piece of footwork. You can imagine how I feel about the screen's great dancers. And a lot of today's young great dancers feel the same way. They join me in a salute to all those wonderful hoopers. Leroy Reams, Don Correa, Greg Bird, Kenton Battle, and Miss Ann Miller.
I am Dracula. I bid you welcome.
Good evening. I am Louis Gossett Jr., and I bid you welcome. I also bring you the cape that Bela Lugosi wore when he played Dracula, and an extraordinary collection of clips which feature some of the most distinguished actors in film history. The oldest is from a movie made in 1925. The most recent was made last year. What you ask could be such a staple of the film industry? Romance? Daring do? Neither. The genre we celebrate now is some kind of with breadth and basics. It can only be called classic. Allow me to introduce to you horror.
Okay. Scare me. Are you ready? Okay, go ahead. What are you doing?
That face, that wonderful face, it shines, it glows all over the place. And how I love to watch it change expression. Each look becomes the pride of my possession. I love that face, it just isn't fair. You must forgive the way that I stare, but never will these eyes behold a sight that could replace that face, that face, that face. That could replace that face, that face, that face, that face. Oh, that face, that face.
Next on Happy Birthday Hollywood, Loretta Young and Legends That Are Gone.
Uno, dos, 1, 2, 3, 4.
This is one of California Cooper's original testing facilities.
Watch it now, watch it, watch it.
Today, that blend has been perfected. But hey, test it anyway. California Cooper, the real stuff.
Whatever happened to real food? You know the kind that tastes good. Don't wanna get out, I can't pronounce. Whatever happened to real food? You know the kind that tastes real good. awesome. Real food.
Real food for real people.
Is he okay?
Peanuts! Get your fresh roasted peanuts!
2. Want some peanuts?
Remember fresh roasted peanuts? One whiff, and you couldn't resist.
That's so good.
Well, today there's a snack that's just as irresistible. Planters honey roasted nuts. They're sweet enough to please and just salty enough to tease. Planters honey roasted nuts.
Get your fresh roasted peanuts!
Mr. Peanut does it again.
It's a jungle. That's how it feels when you're searching for life insurance. The natives don't speak your language. You feel lost, in the dark, scared. But there is a sign of civilization. With Prudential, your agent will explain things clearly and work with you until you have a piece of the rock you feel comfortable with. No wonder more people choose Prudential for life insurance than any other company. You'll feel right by the rock. Prudential Life Insurance.
Happy Birthday Hollywood will continue in a moment. Hotel is back.
I want to have your baby.
And for the next 2 weeks, all new episodes.
This has nothing to do with the way I feel about you.
Hotel returns Wednesday.
We built the feeling.
Nothing feels better than A&P's unadvertised specials, especially on top of our already low prices. You'll discover hundreds of them.
We built the feeling.
Every week, in every aisle, in every A&P. This week's unadvertised specials? Sure, we could show you.
A proud new feeling.
But then they wouldn't be unadvertised.
This is a Channel 7 Eyewitness News Brief.
Good evening, I'm Ernie Anastas. Coming up tonight at 11 here on Eyewitness News, a live report from the Persian Gulf, where 28 U.S. sailors are dead after an Iraqi missile attack on a U.S. frigate. And there's evidence that the tragedy could have been prevented. Also at 11, a suspicious fire at a building next to Saks Fifth Avenue. The landmark department store is evacuated. Plus, Tidy Tong's special investigative report, desperately seeking families, the heartbreaking plight of babies forced to live in hospitals because they have no place else to go. And Joe Siegel reviews personal services tonight on Eyewitness News at 11.
New Yorkers are switching to WNSR.
Livelier than life.
Great soft rock oldies.
I quit.
Switch to WNSR. Soft Rock 105 FM.
Good evening. I'm Loretta Young, and I have known Hollywood since I was 4 years old. There have been times when I have loved it. There have also been times when I have loathed it. But never, ever was there a time when I wasn't fascinated with it. Even as a child, I was convinced that the most exciting place to be was in a darkened movie theater being mesmerized by all of those magical images up there on the screen. As the years went by, I continued to learn. And it didn't take me long to discover that some performers stood out from the rest. There seemed to be something inside, something different, things that legends are made of. It's an intangible something that makes it impossible for one to look away. Anyway, whatever it is, no one has ever yet been able to define it. But when we see it, we recognize it, and we are thrilled by it. Sadly for us, so many of those God-gifted artists are now gone. But wait, this is a replica of the piano that was used in the classic motion picture Casablanca. And it is my gift to you, in that its beautiful song will recall some of the unforgettable legends of our industry, most of whom I had the good fortune of working with, some of whom I loved, and all of whom I respected for their enormous contribution to the very word Hollywood.
How's that your plan?
just a little something of my own.
Oh, stop it. You know what I want to hear.
No, it don't.
Played it for her, you played it for me.
Well, I don't think I can remember.
If she can stand it, I can. Play it.
Yes, bro.
Humphrey Bogart. Jean Harlow. Spencer Tracy. Ronald Coleman. Merle Oberon. David Niven. Gary Cooper. Carol Lombard. Jerome Power. Charles Boyer. Veronica Lake. Errol Flynn. Vivian Lee. Clark Gable. Henry Fonda. Joan Crawford. Robert Taylor. Ingrid Bergman. John Garfield. Rock Hudson. Marilyn Monroe. Montgomery Clift. James Dean. Susan Hayward. William Holden. Steve McQueen. Natalie Wood. Richard Burton. Grace Kelly. Cary Grant.
When a star is born, they possess a gift or two. One of them is this. They have the power to make a dream come true. You wait upon a door, make your breath.
that say, Holly?
Stay with us as Jason Robart shows us how Hollywood deals with social issues.
Holding out on your mother? What? You never told me Massengill douche has Effect Doll. I just bought it. Only Massengill has Effect Doll for more effective douching. Any time of the month.
Massengill adds Effect Doll to all 3 fragrances for a cleaner, fresher feeling of safe, more effective douching.
I've always liked Massengill's more comfortable slanted design, and only Massengill has Effect Doll for more effective douching any time of the month.
Trust Massengill, the leader for 74 years.
My hair is beautiful. And no, I didn't get it from prehistoric mud treatment. I don't put slimy eggs on it. I don't spend time in a bar pouring beer on it. I get it from my hair color, performing preference. Surprise. Not only do I get color that's translucent with layers of light, I get hair, beautiful hair, naturally fabulous-looking hair. So I have everything. And I, for one, am worth it.
Performing preference from L'Oreal. You can earn money just for walking on the beach. Just use the credit card that pays you back. The one that earns you a yearly cashback bonus on every purchase. What other card offers you this kind of paid vacation? Use it at more places every day, like Eastern Airlines, Sheraton Hotels, and Mobil.
The green flag is waved and the world's greatest auto race is underway. Live coverage of the Indy 500 begins Sunday morning on ABC Sports.
Good evening, I'm Jason Robart. After having invented the whole thing and gotten the American picture business off the ground around the turn of the century, Thomas Alva Edison was quoted as saying, "I consider that the greatest mission of the motion picture is first to make people happy, to bring more joy and cheer and wholesome goodwill into this world of ours, and God knows we need it." Well, movies have brought entertainment to millions, but they have done more. They have identified issues, taken positions on them, and generally behaved with a social conscience. Bigotry, capital punishment, First Amendment cases, drug abuse, alcoholism, war in general, and nuclear war in particular, have been grist for the mill. We have not always eradicated the problem, but because we touch emotions, we have caused people to think, and the thinking informed people will generally, sooner or later, move in the right direction. Take a look.
Did Deep Throat say that people's lives are in danger?
Yes.
What else did he say?
He said everyone is involved.
You know, the results of the latest Gallup poll? Half the country never even heard of the word Watergate. I'm under a lot of pressure, you know, nuclear theory. Nothing's riding on this except the First Amendment of the Constitution, freedom of the press, and maybe the future of the country.
Sin, sin, sin. You're all sinners. You're all doomed to perdition.
What qualifies someone to be a revivalist? Nothing. Nothing at all. There is not one law in any state in the Union protecting the public from the hysterical onslaught of revivalists. But the law does permit them to invest in tax-free property and collect money without accounting for how it is used. What do you get for your money? Can you get into heaven by contributing $1 or 50? Can you get life eternal by shaking hands for Jesus with Elmer Gantry?
In answer to your question, you? That is, do you follow the Hebrew religion yourself, or is it that you just want to make sure?
When asked a simple question, I'd like to have a simple answer.
Well, you see, we do have a very high-class clientele, and, well, naturally.
Then you do restrict your guests to Gentiles.
Well, I wouldn't say that, Mr. Green. But in any event, there seems to be some mistake, because we don't have a free room in the entire hotel. But if you'd like, perhaps I can fix you over at the Brewster Hotel down near the station.
I'm not staying at the Brewster. Look, I'm Jewish, and you don't take Jews. That's it.
I never said that.
If you don't accept Jews, say so.
Don't raise your voice to me, Mr. Green. Speak a little more quietly, please.
Do you or don't you?
Mr. Green, I'm a very busy man. Now, if you want me to phone for a cab or a room at the Brewster, I'll do so. Otherwise...
Otherwise what?
What's eating you? Just because I called you a name?
Yeah.
Well, that's what you are, ain't it? Not calling a spade a spade. I'm a honky. I don't try to argue out of it. You can call me a bohunk. I don't mind.
You ever hear tell of a bohunk in a woodpile, Joker? You ever hear tell of catch a bohunk by the toe?
Depends on how you mean it.
How'd you mean it?
Like I said it, now don't cry me because I didn't make up no names.
No, you breathe it in when you're born and you spit it out from then on.
That name sure bugs you, don't it? Well, that's the way it is. And you're stuck with it, because I didn't make any rules.
No, but you sure live by him.
Everybody lives by him. Even them swamp animals.
Even that weasel.
You calling me a weasel?
No, I'm calling you a white man.
It is the judgment and sentence of this court that the defendant, Barbara Graham, suffer the extreme penalty, to wit, the death penalty, and that said penalty be inflicted in a manner and means prescribed by law, to wit, the administration of lethal gas until said defendant is dead.
When you hear the pellets drop, count 10. Take a deep breath. It's easier that way.
How do you know?
That's not loaded, is it?
Of course it is. Don't you think I know how to handle a gun?
I don't know what to think, Homer. All I know is I was in love with you when you left, and I'm in love with you now. Other things may have changed, but that hasn't.
You want to see how the hooks work? You want to see the freak? I'll show you. Take a good look.
I just don't really think, Homer. It's over.
I'm sorry, Llewellyn. It isn't your fault. Just go on and play with your friends.
And now I'm here to tell you that I have killed for my country or whatever. And I don't feel good about it. Because there's not enough reason, man. To feel a person die in your hands or to see your best buddy get blown away. I'm here to tell you, it's a lousy thing, man. I don't see any reason for it.
Somebody once wrote, hell is the impossibility of reason. That's what this place feels like. Hell. I don't even know what I'm doing. It's scary because nobody tells me how to do anything because I'm new.
Nobody cares about the new guys. They don't even want to know your name. The unwritten rule is a new guy's life isn't worth as much because he hasn't put his time in yet. And they say if you're going to get killed in the non, it's better to get it in the first few weeks. The logic being, you don't suffer that much. I don't think I can keep this up for a year, Grandma. I think I've made a big mistake coming here.
We interrupt this program at the request of the White House. This is a national emergency. This is an emergency action notification. I repeat, we interrupt this program at the request of the White House. Do not use your telephone. Telephone lines should be kept open for official use. Important instructions will follow. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Hello?
Mom! Mom!
Get away from that window!
No!
You're all get out. No, put your head down. Cover your eyes. Oh, my goodness, my God.
What do we do now? Make a wish. What do we wish for, Mom?
That we remember it all. The good and the awful. The way we finally lived. That we never gave up. That we will last to be here. To deserve the children.
Hollywood, aware of the issue.
Good evening from Washington, D.C., specifically from the White House, where many of us feel we've been in almost daily contact with Hollywood's 100 years of history. Actually, Ronald Reagan, who loves to kid about his age, wasn't around when it all began for Hollywood, a town that has had such enormous influence on people all over the world, including presidents. Richard Nixon watched the movie Patton before sending U.S. troops into Cambodia. And Ronald Reagan once joked that after seeing Rambo, he knows what to do the next time a hostage crisis arises. So happy birthday, Hollywood. Keep up the good work. Those of us who cover the news in Washington salute you.
Coming up, Gregory Peck, Burt Lancaster, and our exciting finale on Happy Birthday Hollywood.
Hello. Hi, Ronnie. How's school? Fine. But I think Higgins has to go out.
Amy, would you let the dog out, please? So how's...
There goes Dad for his 8 o'clock snack.
Al, we just ate. Rob. What's wrong?
Said anything's wrong.
You're not the only one in this family who can hear.
When the people you love come through loud and clear, that's AT&T.
As long as summers have been hot, Budweiser's been keeping you cool.
For you.
Pick a pair.
Cool. These Buds, I really like this Bud Light.
Pick a pair of 6-packs, 12-packs, cases of Budweiser and Bud Light. Look for this display and get a great offer on a 2-man wrap. Pick a pair. Future.
Pick a pair.
Bugsy, stay. Make sure your auto insurance is under control. When your car's not, have your Prudential representative give you a fast, free pro review of your coverage.
Are you covered? I don't know.
You'd know with a Prudential Pro Review. The right coverage is no accident.
Oh, my God.
Get a Pro Review from the Prudential and get a piece of the rock.
Nice boat.
When you come home from Kmart, you can feel very good about what you bought. Because along with the best brand names and a low Kmart price, you have the assurance that if anything you buy at Kmart isn't right for any reason, we'll do our best to make you happy.
This thing doesn't taste good. Well, let's find one that does.
Kmart. Satisfaction always.
Kmart, the saving place.
Over these 100 years, some wonderful things have been said about Hollywood. Rivers of colorful prose have cascaded out to the public, from studio publicists, movie magazine writers, and columnists. Some of what they've said has been sentimental, foolish, wildly exaggerated. Some of it's been true. One thing is certain. When Hollywood became the capital of movie making, Americans began to see themselves mirrored on the screen. Their history, their struggles, their dreams, their ambitions, their wonderful sense of humor about themselves. But the movies didn't just reach out to Americans. In a few short years, we had touched the world. The movies became a window through which hundreds of millions of people in every country saw us as we see ourselves.
Federico Fellini recalled a few years ago, in the small movie house of my village with 200 seats and 500 standing rooms, I discovered through your films that there existed another way of life, that a country existed of wide open spaces, of fantastic cities which were like a cross between Babylon and Mars. Perhaps thinking about it now, the stories were simplistic. However, it was nice to think that despite the conflicts and the pitfalls, there was always a happy ending. It was especially wonderful to know that a country existed where people were free, rich, and happy, dancing on the roofs of skyscrapers, and where even a humble tramp could become president. Perhaps even then it wasn't really like this. However, I believe that I owe to those flickering shadows from America my decision to express myself through film.
Film pioneer and father of Paramount Studios, Adolf Zucker said, "Those of us who became producers hailed from all sorts of occupations. Furriers, magicians, butchers, boilermakers. And for that reason, highbrows often poked fun of us. Yet one thing is certain. Every man who succeeded was a born showman. And once in the show business, he was never happy out of it."
MGM chief Louis B. Mayer once said, "Hollywood brings the world to the United States and the United States to the world. This interchange of writing brains, talent, music, traditions is important to world peace. It's equally important to good entertainment, which knows no geography and has no international boundary lines."
You know, California is a great place to live if you're an orange. Warming to his subject, he also said, "You can take all the sincerity in Hollywood, put it in the navel of a fruit fly, and still have room for 3 caraway seeds in the heart of an agent."
It's not surprising to find that it was the wonderful actor Joseph Cotten who said, "In Hollywood, those stars who have been around a long while and seem to grow better with time are the ones who regard stardom merely as an opportunity to grow."
Although the movie makers came to Hollywood just after the turn of the century, the first settlers were slightly uptight Midwesterners who outlawed theaters and saloons, were unfriendly, and took a dim view of the film folk. Alan Dwan, a pioneer director, recalled, "We were beneath them. If we walked in the streets with our cameras, they hid their girls under the beds and closed the doors, shut the windows. No dogs, no actors read a sign in the rooming house window."
Do you remember what David Selznick said? There are only 2 kinds of class: first class and no class.
Ivan Stolberg said, there never was a silent film. We finish a picture, we show it in one of our projection rooms, and it would be awful. We'd come out shattered. We'd have high hopes for the picture. We'd work our heads off on it, and the results were always the same. Then we'd show it in a theater with a girl down in the pit pounding away at a piano. And there would be all the difference in the world. Without that music, there might never have been a movie industry at all.
Well, perhaps the whole 100 years is best summed up by the legendary movie Tarzan, Johnny Weissmuller, when he said, the main thing is not to let go of the vine.
Thanks, Mama.
Hooray for Hollywood.
Happy Birthday Hollywood, brought to you by Kmart, the saving place. We're proud to say you've made us America's favorite store. The Prudential, offering a full range of insurance and other financial services. Michelob, so exceptionally smooth, the night belongs to Michelob. And AT&T, the right choice. Travel arrangements provided by Pan Am. With all 747 service across the Atlantic, Pan Am flies to more places in Europe than all other U.S. airlines combined. Hotel accommodations provided by the Century Plaza Hotel and Tower, located on Los Angeles' fashionable West Side. For Happy Birthday Hollywood, this is Charlie O'Donnell.
This is Joan London. And Charles Gibson. Tomorrow, the latest on the Iraqi attack on the USS Stark.
Also, Ron Reagan's tour of haunted Europe continues in Paris.
Plus Ray Parker Jr. and Duran Duran.
On Good Morning America.
The USS Stark is the latest in a series of U.S. military losses in the Middle East. Why we're so vulnerable and who's to blame. Tomorrow on ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Later, Angela sees another side of Tony when he throws a wild party on Who's the Boss. Then a household accident gets the kids stuck in a sticky situation on Growing Pains. After, the people who make us laugh finally get what they deserve, with special appearances by George Carlin, Whoopi Goldberg, Pee Wee Herman, Eddie Murphy, Lily Tomlin, and more. It's the first annual American Comedy Awards, live tomorrow.
Tonight on Viewpoint, how much of a public figure's private life should be fair game for the media? Watch Viewpoint before a live audience at George Mason University in Virginia.
Coming up next on Eyewitness News, the frigate Stark limps towards port. An Iraqi missile leaves its deadly mark. And we'll have information on how this tragedy at sea could have been averted. Plus, fire next door to Saks Fifth Avenue. Hundreds flee the landmark store.
Also ahead tonight, a special report, children alone, without homes, desperately seeking families. Plus, Joel Siegel reviews Personal Services, a new film about a housewife who ran a bordello. Next on Eyewitness News at 11.